welcome to Uncle Brent's shed. Last episode I got a donor car for the Pacer. I couldn't help myself and went back and got another car from that same wreckers, and we also picked up quite a unique engine. Yeah, we strip it down and reveal that not all is well, but my mate reckons it'll run, so eventually. So, all right, we'll delve into it. Yeah, couldn't help myself. I had to go back to that wrecking yard and save another car. Rust-wise, it's reasonable, repairable anyway. Still has a floor in it. No big holes, but that's not supposed to be in there. No, we actually put that engine there as an extra. So the car was only $300, and that engine was $150. So we're going to plug that engine out now and try to see what's seized on it. Obviously it's been sitting for probably 50 years or longer. You can see where it was laying on its side, and the ground's all etched into the generator there.
Oh, looks like you're right.
Yeah.
Bit of oil burning, do you reckon? Yeah, well, they're consistent. That one probably doesn't look that great though. It's got a bit of
It's not rusty though.
rusty
Not
juice
like
on
that
it.
first one. Oh, the strap's still on it. It's just
A bit funky looking, eh? It's a bit juicy.
probably from being on the side. Maybe that's helped. Maybe.
Oh, that one don't look so great.
We got barbecue.
Yeah.
Smells alright. Oh,
Filled up quick.
it's probably full of water, bro. Some plug.
Yeah, see if there's anything in it.
Yeah. Have you seen the resistor on the distributor?
Just a bare wire.
Yeah. That's cool.
On the back.
Yeah.
Like
Can we
they
go
did.
get a drain pan?
I'm not convinced there's anything. Oh,
Oops. It's
empty. Could be worse though. It doesn't look like. Look at the oil on you.
phone straight under the
Like
oil.
the oil doesn't look super nasty.
Yeah.
A little bit of cheese in the bottom of the bungy. Could be worse.
Pretty clever to have a little cup in
There's
there.
a spot of water.
Mm-hmm. We'll put it on the ground, reposition it, and then we'll put it inside the shed. Plug the head off. Hopefully don't get overly disappointed. I think straight up we're just going to pluck this head because it sees solid and it's not turning, so don't look real promising down those plug holes. TIT? TIT? Right. Yeah, she's either on or off.
Not as bad as I thought they would have been. The whole stud's coming with that one.
916. Oh, kidding me.
What, come undone?
Must be that sauce, mate.
You reckon that juice is doing anything?
What do you mean?
The unicorn piss.
Oh, works some lead bolts.
What do they say? A hot knife through butter?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if an 18 will work now that they're loosened. Oh, what?
You get ya?
The bolt's hot.
Oh.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that didn't look so good. It's like blood and water.
A few turds I've done.
Gasket surface. Doesn't look too bad. What? Give them all a buffet.
Whoa, why is there a big hole there? Oh. That's right.
The gasket looks good.
Yeah. It's brand new. That got coolant in it. Well,
I don't think that'll run.
hmm?
Said I don't think that'll run. Not for a little bit anyway. Look at it.
How deep's that?
About 5 inches.
Wow. Wish I had 5 inches.
I'm gonna pluck this head gasket off before we wreck it.
Yeah.
Check out the asbestos exhaust gasket there.
Imagine going to the young lads at the parts store asking for a Terraplane head gasket.
eBay. There's actually one in Australia.
Yeah?
Would you believe it?
Yeah, right. They're small pots, eh?
Yeah, they're 3-inch, 75mm pot, 5-inch stroke. I can't imagine them doing a great deal of RPMs.
Imagine how doughy it would have been.
Oh, what are you thinking?
Ah, just a little bit disappointed.
So much liquid in there.
Like, them balls, like, how you gonna
Get the old hone in there, eh? And just...
chop it out, eh?
Do you have a wire wheel that like just fits in there?
Probably.
We're gonna run it down there and see what happens.
I have to run a fucking needle gun down there first.
Do you have one?
No. What a bizarre setup, eh? It's like one of those paint palettes. Every cylinder or chamber offers you a different shade of rust. Even the apprentice that would have worked on this engine would be dead. Hey.
85 years old.
It's a windage train.
That's your fucking filter.
It's backflip on the top of it. It's moving, bud, eh?
Yeah, but I've got nothing to bang on there. Oh, I think I just squished the side of the door a little
She's
bit.
out. She's out the hole.
Yeah, but it won't come out.
Yep. I said to Patrick, even the apprentices that would have worked on this are all dead.
Yeah. There you go. know.
Oh, duh.
It's like a supersized Z50 piston. Look at the rod on it. Look at it all.
What's going on? Alright, we'll start off with these bores. They sort of cleaned up a little bit. Haven't finished hogging them out with a honer yet, but that cylinder there that was full of oil. So that cylinder's actually not too bad. That's the exhaust ports there on the top of the block. It looked pretty good with zoomies on it, I reckon. So that's a 3-inch bore. Apparently has a 5-inch stroke. Here we have one of the pistons. Got a fair bit of corrosion going on. I like the old double oil ring setup. How's the length of that rod though? It's longer than my memory. Also has the shims. So when you get a bit of excess, what do you call it? Bear and play, I suppose. You take shims out to close the gap up. So also got this bizarre offset thing going on here too. Also has those white metal bearings that you, I believe you mold them onto the rod or melt them onto the rod and then shape them from there. Also has the old oil scoop, so it doesn't actually have oil pressure running to the rods. They're basically fed mechanically. So obviously that's the sump. You see the oil pickup tube there, and all of that there's a gauze filter. I don't know why it's got a window in it there though. Unusual. I like this thing here. It's got a little oil drain back from the rear main, and it has a little flapper on it, so I assume when you accelerate and the oil pushes up against it, it shuts that off so it doesn't shoot back up and pour out of the rear main seal. Yep. It also has this, well, it's like a windage tray, but that's where your oil sits for the rods to scoop it up. Pretty ingenious actually. And like my lad just said, if you need more oil pressure, you just got to rev it harder. Yep, so that sits in there. Alright, so this crank only has 3 main journals. It's a little obviously dirty, but I think it'll clean up because none of the bearings were chopped out, so we'll give that a good clean and go from there. Something else I found interesting was the clutch and flywheel. I couldn't work out why there was so many bolts holding the pressure plate on. Turns out there's a gasket and it's a cork clutch, well, buttons, what's left of them. And it's wet, it had oil in there, so it's a wet cork button clutch. You know, we're talking an 80-year-old engine here, so it's got some pretty impressive engineering going on. Nothing too impressive common looking fuel pump. Dizzy looks almost slant 6-ish. Main bearings, as I said, there's only 3 of those. That's the middle one. That's the flywheel end one. That's nearly, that'd probably be 60 mil deep or wide. Pretty impressive. I think those main bearings are, well, that looks like a screw-in dowel to me. I could be wrong. There's more shims for the main bearings as well. I like the castellated nuts. They actually all had split pins in them as well. The block's unusual up there. It must rely on oil to cool the bottom of those liners. Same with the cam. That's only three bearings or bushes. That's the oil pump drive there. It's an unusual looking oil pump. Not sure yet whether it's a rotary type pump or it's got pistons or plungers in there, but it's pretty neat. So here's a bit of a look at the oil system. That's the pickup tube, external obviously. Goes to that unique oil pump. This one here is a relief. You can tell it looks like a relief valve. That'd have a spring inside of here, oil pressure switch. And the inside of that just bleeds back into the crankcase. So this pipe here would be your main oil feed back into the block, but I can't tell where it goes. The main bearings are all fed by gravity, because you can see daylight straight through there. So these main bearings are just splash fed. So this oil feed goes in here. You can see a little bit of a bulge in the block there. And there is a hole here. So I'm a little confused on to what the oil pump's even doing. I'm sort of wondering if that oil feed runs out of that hole at the front of the block, just runs down the front of the engine and fills this pan up to give it the splash feed that it needs. I'm not sure. It's quite bizarre, but obviously it worked. I haven't had a lot to do with side valves, but this looks reasonably normal. See the valve clearance adjusters there. Yep. And that's where the inlet manifold bolts on. That's a pretty long port, that one on the end there. As you can see, it's going to go from here all the way up to that second to last valve. So in there, up to there. That one. That's the inlet manifold. Not much to it. It's got exhaust blows through here. It's through the outside of that to heat the manifold up. But yes, so it's the exhaust manifold. That surface there bolts on the top of the block, and that pipe runs down the front of the engine pipe. And you can see where the hot box bolts onto that. So it also runs a Bakelite timing gear, which we managed to get off in one piece. I was a bit worried, as when we were levering it, it was flexing, but it did come off in one piece. While we were levering it off, I said, I hope we can get a new one, to me mate, and we had a quick look on eBay, and they're on there $250, brand new, old stock. But this one should still go. No chips on it. Oh, there's a timer mark there. There's the underside of the head. Just, this thing mustn't have had much compression. Would have had to have been in the 6 or 7. So that's what caught our eye at the wrecking yard. Seeing this old girl laying on its side under a bonnet. I think it deserves to be, you know, I'm going to try our hardest to get it running again. Not sure whether it's just going to live on a stand, or I think it'd be pretty cool on a rat rod personally, but we'll work that out when we get there. Not quite sure what the power dome is, but it sounds pretty cool. Also quite a unique gearbox arrangement, that open to air looking bell housing. It was probably to cool that down, because I thought that was a torque converter when we first got it. So man, that is bizarre. And you can see where that ceiling section is down there. Seals on the outside of that thrust bearing. Also has a really cute spigot shaft there. Tiny little roller bearing. Well, ball bearing. Now, looking into the top of this gearbox, I'm really struggling to work out how many speeds this has got. I'm starting to believe it's only a 2-speed manual. Maybe it had a split diff in the car. If anyone's got any information, I mean, there's a little bit out there on Google. We've had a bit of a look, but yes, obviously that that gear at the front there on all manuals, that drives the lay shaft at the bottom. And then there's another gear here, which possibly is first, and then that one looks like reverse, and there's nothing else in there. There is 2 gears down the bottom there, 2 idlers. Obviously they're your, normally your reverse gear down there, but quite bizarre. Also got a unique throwout fork arrangement. Not sure what this is. There's one on either side. I'm thinking maybe some sort of detent mechanism. Right, cheers for watching this episode. Don't have a lot of information on this engine. We know it's mid-30s. Yeah, so it's mid-30s Terraplane Hudson related. It's just over 200 cubic inches, we believe. I think it's 212. I think we found a bit of information. So yeah, hopefully it cleans up enough. We can get enough parts to get it running again. So it's just a matter of cleaning everything to bolt it back together. We'll see how we go. It's not something that's going to be out next week. It's probably going to be 6 months plus. So by the time we source pistons and whatnot. So, all right, that's about it, I think. Also, giving Mr. Hardwick a shout out. I wished him happy birthday the other day on Facebook, and he told me to hurry up and keep making videos. So it's good to get a little bit of feedback. Some people enjoy watching me. Well, not me, but what I'm mucking around with or whatever. But it's all good. Cheers for watching, and look after your mates.